Hey, what's up everybody? Danny Lightning here with another CSR 2 video. Today we're going to talk about tuning to beat speed traps. I know I made one of these videos a little while back, but I think I could have done better. I just watched it the other day, and I definitely could have done better. Alright, so we're going to go into tuning. Now this car, I just had to beat a 305 mile per hour speed trap, and we're just going to go ahead and use this car. We're going to look at my dyno time. The quarter mile time is 292. Generally, if you can get the quarter mile time to match or run faster than whatever the speed trap time is, generally you're going to beat the speed trap. Now, there's two theories. The speed traps are either a quarter mile or they're somewhere in between a quarter mile and a half mile, but either way, if you can get that quarter mile time to match or beat the speed trap time, you should still beat the speed trap. So I just had a speed trap the other day. It was 305 miles per hour. I had to do it with this car. Alright, so right there we hit a quarter mile speed of 305. So technically this should beat the speed trap right now. But let's see if we can get a little more out of it. 305, 306, 306.8, 307, check that out. 306.5. Alright, so we got up to 307. Now, we also want to make sure our top speed is still above this time, because let's just say you have a 307 on the quarter mile time, but you got a 302 down here on the top speed, and some cars are weird and that will happen. If this doesn't say at least the same as this, you're not going to be able to hit this time. So you want to make sure your top speed is the same or faster than the quarter mile speed on your dyno. Now sometimes your dyno is incorrect, but usually this works. You still might have to play with it a little bit. We'll get into that in just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and try and play with my tires a little bit. Alright, 308. Let's see if we can pump a little more out of it. Alright, 308. 308. 307. 308.5. 308.2. 308. I know I can get it up to 309 if I get it adjusted just right, but no big deal. We're just going to go ahead and mess with it right here. We got 308.5. Now, what we're going to do is go into a test run, and we're going to set the distance for a quarter mile instead of a half mile. Alright, if we can get that quarter mile time, we should be able to beat the speed trap. Alright, we just need to get the quarter mile in less than 305. It needs to be the top speed. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, can we beat 305 miles per hour? If the answer is yes, we probably can beat the speed trap. Here we got 308.5. So no problem beating that speed trap. Okay, this car is gonna beat that speed trap like it's nothing now. Now here's the thing: after you do this adjusting and you do get the dyno time right, but let's just say you for some reason you can't hit that, there's a couple things you can do. Number one is just slightly adjust your transmission a little more, because every once in a while the dyno time is incorrect. It might say 308, but you might only be able to get 306. So you might have to play with your tune just a little bit more. Another thing is hit your nitrous in a later gear. Like say you normally hit your nitrous on second gear. Alright, try it again on third. If that doesn't work, try it on fourth. If that doesn't work, try it on fifth. Alright, sometimes hitting nitrous in the later gear will help you beat a speed trap. You could always play with your start. You could always try and get a... I mean, I don't really think this is going to help, but sometimes weird things make a difference. So you might want to try and get a late start or a perfect start or something. If all else fails, play with your start a little bit. Alright? So basically, your quarter mile speed, as long as it's, not slower than your top speed, you should be able to beat the speed trap. If that doesn't work, play with your tune. Play with your tune just a little more. If that doesn't work, start playing with what gear you hit your nitrous And if you can't get that work, maybe to play with your start a little bit. I mean, those are pretty much the things, but tuning for the quarter mile time is basically the easiest way to figure out if your car is going to be able to beat the speed trap or not. That takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Because back before, I mean, I don't know. I never really put two and two together, and I never even looked at the times. I would just adjust the transmission, and I would go back and run it. And if it failed, I would move the transmission a couple more notches to the right. Then I would go back and run it. And if it failed, I would move the transmission a little more to the right. Then one day, I kind of put two and two together, saying, hey, maybe if I get my quarter mile speed really close to the speed trap speed, I'll be able to beat this race. And so far, it's worked every time on every speed trap I've ever done. Now, I can't confirm that the speed traps are exactly a quarter mile, but they're definitely not a half mile. They're definitely shorter than a half mile, so they're either a quarter mile or they're somewhere in between the quarter mile and the half mile. I'm not sure, but either way, all right, if you get your quarter mile speed to run faster than the speed trap, either way, you should be able to beat it. Maybe not always. Like I said, sometimes the dyno's a little bit off. Some cars are a little bit weird. But on the majority of the cars, if you can get that quarter mile time to match, you're going to beat that speed trap, all right? Hopefully this all makes sense, and hopefully this video helps. So I think that pretty much wraps this one up. If you guys like my videos, please hit the like button and subscribe. And I really hope this helps some of you guys beat these speed traps, all right? Catch you guys later. See ya.